Bean made that beat.
Tell her stop playing with me. Now talk about money, then please stay away from me. I see demons, somebody please pray for me. I recline in my chair and wait patiently. Tell her stop playing with me. Yeah. Tell her stop playing with me.
Ellen DeGeneres, they done put on a hot spot today. Talking about that she's out here allegedly doing discrimination and treating her coworkers wrong and racism.
She had nerve to be saying be kind when the show go off, but she's the opposite of being kind based off of what we just read because they say she's her mistreating folks.
Yeah.
Down at the workplace and somebody called HR. I guess she was paying so good they were scared to call on her. I'm not really sure. I would have called on her bitch ass though. I'm calling HR on a couple people I know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play them kind of games.
I'm gonna call HR on a couple people I know. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get your ass in trouble. I'm snitching it. That's why I'm kind of, about that, they be talking about snitching. Hey, come to the job, I'm gonna snitch on you at work.
Oh, yeah.
I will snitch on you at work. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna snitch on you at work. But I'm finna snitch on some people at work.
It depends on what you done did. Yeah, we'll come down to.
I'd snitch on Ellen. She's a piece of shit.
I snitch on her too because she's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch, ain't nobody that happy.
No, people that pretend.
Nobody.
They're not. No. People that try to pretend to be happy like that are usually the biggest assholes.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
it's always hiding some shit.
Always.
Yeah, that's
or they suicidal.
That's damn.
That's true too. Yeah.
That's weird.
Just being real, people.
No,
The happiest people and the goofiest people tend to want to kill themselves. I can speak firsthand on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like you don't be thinking about it. You just be like you trying to be happy to cover up how you really feel. You really feel like
I know a couple of people like that. They really try to act happy, but they really a shitty person in the messages.
The Ellen shit is especially fucking hilarious because there's one, she's not really, I don't think she really did anything that's that fucking bad. Like all the people that are like complaining saying Ellen made me chew gum before I talked to her. Well, fucking don't have a nasty fucking breath.
Yeah,
like Ellen.
Maybe your breath was thinking that was.
Well, it was like a thing that like you weren't allowed to talk to Ellen like unless you were like she would have some gum laid out and you had to be chewing a piece of gum because she has a sensitive nose. Like, why is anybody fucking surprised that this like multimillionaire celebrity is kind of a bitch? Like, so just chew a piece of gum. You get to work on this show. She's probably paying you pretty goddamn well.
Yeah,
you get to meet celebrities all day. Like, chew a fucking piece of gum. I chew gum and I don't get shit.
I'm finna say I keep going though. It ain't even really just Nah, I keep.
Yeah, you can't be walking around your breath smelling like mildew and soot.
I don't think she.
For real, people breath hurt smell like refrigerator.
Yeah,
that's harsh.
Yeah, that is. It's like you all on my face and your breath smell like refrigerator. That's not it. But in other news today, y'all boy, I can't stand this nigga. I mean, I like the nigga. On a personal level, he might be a cool ass nigga, but musically and how he portrays himself in the media, Meek Mill.
Oh, man.
I can't stand this fool. This fool said, I knew he was a little slow. What he saying? They said in the message, he said that we, me, and Milano decided to break up. Who the fuck is we, me, and Milano?
He's talking third person like a bitch.
He broke up with the baby mama that we didn't even know he was together with the baby mama for years and then they started posting pictures. He wasn't claiming her. Then but you want to claim to break up in front of everybody. I was like, this is the most clown, retarded behavior I ever seen. And everybody just act like this nigga. The nigga want to be Lil Baby. That's my opinion.
He can't.
He mad about Lil Baby famousness. And I said famousness. He mad about Lil Baby. He mad about. I think he want to be all the new niggas. And Jay-Z trying to boost him up like he's just somebody. If y'all ain't noticed, they be putting this nigga in our face, like making it seem like he's just so hot. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but me personally, it ain't got nothing to do with Drake. I seen the bullshit before it started. Got some bangers out there. Chick be banging. Dreams and Nightmare intro be banging. A couple songs that gotta be banging. But the motherfucker goofy as fuck. Y'all can keep acting like y'all don't see it, but I see the shit.
Man, if you ask me, Drake gave him his career back.
I felt Nicki when she said you back hanging out with Drake. Now you feeling tough again, or that little slick shit she said. I felt this shit when she said it because Meek, you was motherfucking washed up. You corny as fuck.
Yeah, he be doing some cornball shit.
You put the ball in corn, nigga.
Who makes an announcement about a breakup?
A nigga make an announcement about a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your baby mama.
And usually when people, you done wasted.
I know celebrities.
You done wasted all her damn time. She could have stayed.
You got the girl pregnant
and left her. And she probably, I understand why.
I mean, she got a check, she got a bag, so she really kind of winning in the
They
end.
said she probably went to child support office, but she got her own
seen
bag.
Yeah, she had a bag before me, so it probably ain't. But still, you didn't have to do all that. You could have just let that girl be that girl. You could have kept being a little weird rap nigga.
Yeah, you didn't disturb her peace. Now, what's gonna happen is when she get with somebody that's bigger than Betty, he gonna be talking shit.
Yeah, he gonna be out here acting corny like how he do about Nikki and Miss Petty.
Miss Petty. You know, keep. I thought it was Miss Kenny.
Miss Kenny Petty, it's the same thing.
Miss Kenny is funny.
I mean, I don't know what he do. I mean,
that name is funny.
I always call him Miss Petty and Miss Kenny until he established himself. I mean, he might be a cool dude, but what do you do? Like, I ain't mad at you. I'm really jealous. I'm hating. I'm gonna go down earth for the first nigga that admit to being hating. I am mad that I don't have Nicki Minaj pregnant right now.
Shit.
He got a bag.
He got a bag. I'm mad that I don't have a bag because if you got a rich baby mama, she ain't gonna let her baby daddy fall off like that. Well, she might, but I feel like you got a little bit more chance to be on. I mean, all you gotta do is just sit back and shut up, stay out the way.
True.
Let her get out here and.
He is a tax write-off.
I would be a tax write-off, so I really ain't mad at Miss Kenny.
You just right.
I'm mad at Miss Kenny. Miss Kenny doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Miss Kenny need to be making some kind of way to get some money off her to start his own shit up.
I mean, but then you got to think about it. You was like, well, we say that, but then what if he try to be like Sephora?
Man.
We sit up here and we bash him for not doing nothing and just kind of being an accessory to Nick, but.
Yeah, because for you,
we don't want him to be a Sephora.
I didn't know that when I was with Sephora. I didn't know that.
I mean, I wouldn't have wanted nobody to know I was with Sephora. If you really kind of looked at it, he was pop locking in the
Shut!
he was pop locking.
And he got his own coconut oil. It's a little different.
He different. He was trying to get his. He different. I ain't gonna even speak on that. What he was trying to do when they had him on Love and Hip Hop. But
something else funny done happened too. Dre and Michelle done lost the contract with Rihanna's fashion line. For laughing
Savage
at,
Fenty?
Yeah, Savage Fenty for laughing at the Megan Thee Stallion situation. She done got her ass beat up and you want to make fun of that shit?
For real. Rihanna got hit in the eye. She ain't trying to hit.
She ain't trying to hit. Now that's the motherfucker.
Well, she had PTSD when she seen that. She said, oh my God, Chris hit me and Megan was hit by a little Tory and it's just like, oh man.
Megan was hit by a little bullet.
Speaking of bullet,
I know y'all probably heard the last episode. Cody was dead on. Well, he was dead what he said.
Yeah.
DP, I listened again. I'm sorry, DP. You was on the fence.
What?
I'm just gonna call you out.
Well, I was on the fence.
Yeah, you never really gave.
No, I said he shot her.
No. But you said that it was an accident.
Yeah, and you stood on that too.
Oh, he still shot her though.
But you
but I said, but you said, but it was an accident. I said that it was on purpose.
Yeah, you was like, well, I think it was an accident. You said it like 3 times.
Oh yeah, I thought it was an accident, but he shot her still. I still said that.
But I won because I said it was on purpose.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't care. We
ain't trying to make it about caring, but we just making it about what's real, and what's real is that you was on the fence.
Yeah, and what's
real
is
on the spot right now.
I just said he shot her, and I'm gonna stick to that. Now I thought it was an accident.
Well, yeah, you did, but then you came back a couple days later. Like I knew he shot her. No, you didn't.
Nope.
So we just kind of carrying up on it's all fun.
He still shot her. I still stand on that.
We said he shot her.
Yeah, but you're still but you're halfway wrong.
Yeah, you're halfway wrong.
100% right.
It's just one of the things.
That's your opinion, but I still still say I win. Shooting.
Yeah, he won.
I won.
We already know he shot her. That's clear.
Get you a cookie from Chick-fil-A?
No,
I'm good.
I'm alright.
I'm just messing with you. Because you did you was like, nah.
I was like, maybe he accidentally shot her. Yeah, but when they say he shot her because license, I was like, okay, that's a little extreme. But
I said that.
I was like,
yeah, he said that from jumping. You kind of like washed it out.
Well, I said
I think it was like, it may have been.
I think it was an accident.
Yeah, it might have been an accident.
It wasn't no motherfucking accident. Nope. And we were just saying that you kind of backpedaled.
Yeah.
But hey,
see, I predicted it once I found out.
You kind of backpedaled, but hey.
Oh well, but I still think that man shot on accident.
No,
but
I predicted. You think he shot on accident?
It may.
Your time to say what you got to stand on it.
No, hold on now. Stand on it. It may have been an accident, but you know how the media is. They gonna try to make this.
Stand on what you say.
No, I'm telling you. I'm thinking it was an accident. I think he was being a little goofy with the gun and accidentally shot her in the damn foot. And then you got all these media people around, and they blew that shit up.
Being goofy with it, like what? Like twirling it? Like
trying to be like a big badass with a pistol. He might be trying to show up.
So that's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right. Cody, your final answer is still the same?
The right one.
We ain't gonna say you was right, nigga. We ain't gonna give you all
But
that.
they said
because
you closer to. We just trying to see a verdict. When it really come out what happened, we gonna be like, well, who was right and who was wrong.
All right, look.
That's all that is. I just want people to have a direct answer.
All right, how tall?
What they feel.
Hey, how tall is he?
5'3".
He shot her on purpose.
I agree.
I still think it was an accident. We just gonna see when that shit go to
Yeah,
court.
we're gonna see when it come out. This is how fun the game.
Yeah. I think
bashing DP. Don't think we bashing.
Yeah, because we don't do that over here.
Yeah, we don't do that. We just playing. It ain't that shit.
But
But he was going back and forth. So
Yep.
Yeah. At first I was like,
he was going back and forth. So
and I had to make a final decision. Like, yeah,
I hate April out here today to really give her because I just want to give a final verdict when this shit come out. We gonna be like, well, this was this. It was an accident or this. Because you never know, she might be like, accidentally shot me in the DP right.
Well,
it don't matter. Nobody gets a cookie. Nobody.
Yeah.
We just kind of go. This is a little joke we got going. Little game.
That's gonna be funny right there.
That's why I'm asking it because I want everybody to have a clear, direct answer when this shit come out.
I mean, because you know how like media they gonna hype this shit up.
No, I'm gonna be watching that trial like the goddamn OJ trial or something.
But the thing is, Troy hasn't spoken out about it. That's the crazy thing.
He ain't supposed to.
No shit, he didn't.
He ain't spoken because
he tried to murder someone.
You're not supposed to be talking.
But Megan out here shooting subliminals.
She been out here saying,
yeah, because she got fucking shot.
But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. She been shooting subliminals at Moneybag for a minute on her songs. I don't know if people don't be catching. He be shooting subliminals too. I don't know if y'all be really listening.
That's all some goofball shit.
Yeah, very goofy. But if you really listen to what they saying, they be throwing little shots at each other. It's just funny to me. It's like, you threw a little shot there.
They out here doing regular shit like regular people do.
I mean, they really are regular people.
They're still regular people. Yeah, I mean.
That's the problem. People glorify celebrities and stuff and make them sing like they're somebody. I don't. I just be like, oh, you got a camera on you every day.
Yeah.
And you get a bag to have a camera on you every day, basically.
Yeah.
That's really all those famous persons.
Celebrities do the same shit that everybody else does.
Yeah, they still gonna shit like you. They still gonna eat like you.
John Lennon beat his wife.
Damn.
He did. He did all his hoes.
John Lennon beat both of his wives and his kids.
Yeah.
I mean, just because he was making songs about peace, that doesn't mean that fucker was a nice guy.
He didn't find peace till he got with that little Japanese woman.
No, he beat her too.
Damn.
He beat Yoko Ono and their son, Sean
Her name was what?
Huh?
What was her name?
Yoko Ono. You know what pisses me off?
Like some kind of
so they're standing. So when he gets shot, they're walking out of that damn hotel. They're walking out of the Dakota Hotel or the Dakota Hotel. They're walking out. Mark David Chapman walks up, shoots him like 8 times. She's standing right there and doesn't catch one fucking bullet. Ain't that a bitch? Like, why couldn't she die? I mean, John Lennon was a goddamn Beatle.
Are any of them still alive?
Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are still alive. George Harrison died in 2001, I think.
Shout out to Michael Jackson. He bought all Paul McCartney masters.
And then had to sell it back because he went broke.
But still, though, he still made a boss move.
I guess. I don't know.
He had to sell it back.
Yeah, but he bought the Paul McCartney masters, which are
but
arguably the shittiest Beatles songs.
But he remember they were beefing. That's why he bought it, from my understanding. When they beefing?
No, not really. So, they worked on like this album together, and at one point they had a conversation where Michael was like, "Paul, how are you so rich?" And Paul was like, "Well, I've been buying the masters to other people's songs so that I can use them and make a lot of money." And Michael's like, "Oh, I should do that." And Paul's like, "Yeah." And Michael said, "Well, maybe I'll just buy your songs." And Paul McCartney's thinking, "Hey, I'm in the fucking Beatles, or was in the Beatles. Like, there's no way you have enough money to buy my songs."
Oh.
I guess kind of underestimating how much money Michael had made, like, in the past 2 years. Because it was, like, right after Thriller. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't, like, Michael was on top, but it had only been on top for, like, a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And next thing you know it, like, every Paul McCartney Beatles song is bought by Michael Jackson, and he owned them for 20-something years until whenever Michael went bankrupt. Remember that when he moved to like Afghanistan or some shit?
I didn't know that.
No, he did. It was when he sold Neverland Ranch. He didn't live in Neverland Ranch when he died. He had sold it and all of his shit, and part of that was selling the Beatles Paul McCartney songs. But he had moved to like somewhere in the Middle East for a little bit because he had no fucking money.
Isn't that when he had the baby blanket on the balcony?
It was a little after that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the blanket shit was in like 02, 03.
But it was another country, right?
Okay, you remember that song he did where in the video it had Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
You Rock My World? the baby shit was like right when that happened.
Okay.
And then he just blew through that money and bought.
That's when Mike had the little bob cut.
Yes, that's when. Yeah, that's when Mike had that
perm.
shit. And he, yeah.
I heard look like Nene Leaks.
It's more like Monica.
Oh
Yeah.
man, damn, Michael.
Michael
He
looking wild.
He looked fucking rough.
Looking wild. And Chris Tucker's acting like it's normal.
That's
Like,
friends
Well,
though. They're really good friends.
I mean, you a comedian.
were.
I would have just really had a lot of
Well,
material.
shit, Marlon Brando was in that music video.
He was,
So there's no
smoking a cigar.
telling how much money Michael paid. Because Marlon Brando would, like, get paid fucking crazy amounts to do nothing. Just to, you know, eat
Beat
his
her.
fat ass to death.
Damn.
Marlon Brando was fat as shit before he died.
He was.
He was big in that video. Which
He
was
was.
like right before he died. I think he died in like
I remember
05
it
or
wasn't on
something.
Access Granted.
It was on everything.
Yeah,
You know,
that-
BET love to block out an hour show something might be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man,
It was on.
I'm gonna ask you. So where were y'all at the exact moment when y'all found that Michael Jackson?
My
died?
bedroom. I was in my room and I was
Oh.
watching on I either had it on MTV or VH1 or something, and they pulled it up, and then I called my cousin and I was like, holy shit, guess what, Michael Jackson died. He was like, holy shit, and he didn't believe me. And then, like, I guess he saw it like 5 minutes after that. He was like, oh yeah, you're right. I was like, yep, he did.
I was staying in Dallas City. I know I know for a fact he made more money dead than being alive. I know he did.
I don't know. I think
Shit.
because he was around for so long alive that he probably didn't. It's usually people like Tupac, Bob Marley, like people that die real young. They're Jimi Hendrix. They're the ones who make more money after they're dead. But they were only alive for fucking... Well, Jimi Hendrix was only... He had only been releasing music for 2 years when he died.
Damn.
And Tupac was, I don't know, what, 5... or yeah, about 5 years, something like that.
He was like-
So now, but you think Tupac's been dead for 23 years? That's a lot of time for people to buy his fucking music.
True.
So it
Yeah.
makes sense that he's made more money.
Yeah, it makes sense, but man, when he died, they stopped everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, it was a big. I mean, it was a big fucking deal.
All they played was they played Jackson 5, the movie, all fucking day.
American Dream.
Yeah.
I love
It
that
took
movie.
2 weeks to bury Mike. If y'all
Sure
remember.
did.
They didn't
Yeah.
bury- It took about damn near a month to bury Mike.
Yeah,
He kept
I
Mike
don't
in
know
that
why.
refrigerator.
He was already fucking. What's it called when you're in like formaldehyde? You're like
Mhm.
He was already there. So
They kept him in that
before he
refrigerator.
died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kept that man down in that little cold box for about 2 weeks
Man.
before they finally, down there a month before they finally
I bet he
decided
still.
to bury him.
I bet he still looks the exact same.
Mm.
Like if you dug him up, he'd look identical to whenever he died.
He probably does.
I really feel like this true. I feel like the worms didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
They were,
Like,
Because that
it was like chewing on a fucking Walmart sack.
it was just like this.
Yeah.
This ain't it. This ain't it. It's like he's just there.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike
Yeah.
really could come back
Yeah.
if they came with
Yeah.
like a CERN to bring you back. Like
I bet you in some years they gonna have some shit like that. They can bring people back
All
from
right,
dead.
who'd you bring back? One person you can bring back and see him, like either in a concert or if it's an actor in a movie. Like who? Okay, what musician would you bring back?
it gotta be a musician.
Yeah, we'll do actor after that. But what musician would you bring back? If you can bring back one and you get to go
Aaliyah.
see him in concert.
Yeah.
Bring back Aaliyah.
Fuck, that's a good. I'd go Jimi Hendrix.
It's a good one too.
I'd love to see that. Like Jimi
No,
Hendrix.
he said Lil. I'm gonna say Nipsey.
That's straight. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Gotta bring Nipsey back.
You got anybody? That's straight. That's
I was
fair.
thinking
Yeah.
Lil, but I was like, no.
I would just say Aaliyah just because I mean shit, I just miss her. Just-
Once
I
again,
just
they
miss
need to put up fucking music on all
Yeah, I would
streams.
bring. Also, I would bring back
Yeah.
if it now for actors.
Yeah, what actor would you bring back?
Gary Coleman.
That's so fucking random.
I would. Gary Coleman wasn't supposed to go.
When
I think
Gary
he
Coleman
was.
died?
Ooh,
Ooh, he had like a heart
2008
attack.
or something.
Gary Coleman
It was
funny
whenever I
as
was in
fuck.
junior high or something. Yeah, he beat up that security guard. Well, no, he was a security guard, and people were making fun of
Yeah,
him.
he had a fight at work. Jumped on the car.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
on like people's court for that. It was like
Gary
that.
fucking
I can't
Gary
think of no
Coleman.
actors I
Bring
want
back
to bring
Gary
back. I
Coleman.
really can't think of none.
I'd bring back Heath Ledger.
That's cool.
I think it would have been cool to see like what his career would have ended up being, because he was like, you know, that like teen heartthrob actor, but he was on his way to like doing way more shit. I mean, he did like fucking Brokeback Mountain and like a bunch of shit that's like way against that. Like, you remember Knight's Tale? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Like, that's like a movie for like teenage girls, or
And
like
then
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, that was a good movie though.
You know, he was like 18 in that movie.
I believe.
Yeah, but he seemed
like
real
24.
old. Yeah. But like he was. I mean, did Brokeback Mountain, Dark Knight, fucking, and then the last one was that Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Brokeback Mountain?
No.
Okay.
I still ain't seen that movie.
You mentioned it
I mean,
twice. So.
I just know what it's about, and then I know like that's pretty fucking different. Like if you're a
DP, have you
teen
seen
heartthrob for
I've
girls,
never seen it.
that's the last shit you're gonna do is like play a
I just
gay
know it's
cowboy.
about, gay cowboys. That's how I remember people saying it was about. I never just.
I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. That's their business. I just curious. I wasn't gonna judge nobody.
I never watched it.
I never watched it.
Like I remember,
I heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I remember like whenever the Oscars were that year, like it won Best Picture, I think, and so they kept showing clips from it, and in the clips, like Heath Ledger was good. Jake Gyllenhaal. He was the bottom.
Oh man.
Honorable mention. All jokes aside, I would probably bring back Brittany Murphy.
Oh
yeah, she ran across my mind.
Brittany Murphy was on because she was on Clueless. She was
Clueless is such a fucking good movie.
Clueless is really a good movie when you really just watch it. Like if you watch
it's a great movie.
Yeah, Clueless is good. She was in Clueless.
And when Stacey Dash was.
She played Leanne voice.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know she was Leanne.
Yeah, she was Leanne. Yeah, yeah. Well, she was Leanne and Joseph. Dale's kid went before he hit puberty.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And 8 Mile.
8 Mile.
Yeah, she was on 8 Mile.
What's the one where she was with like Dakota Fanning? I think Uptown Girls or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think so. And then she was in the movie with Reese Witherspoon, Freeway. She played the girl that was
That's
on
right.
drugs
She
in jail.
wasn't. Yeah, holy shit, I forgot.
She was in a bunch of
movie.
she was in a bunch of movies.
Brittany Murphy was somebody, man.
And she played like in a lot of like diverse characters. Like when she first started, she had like a lot of drug addicted roles, but she started really branching out. Like 8 Mile, she started having more roles that wasn't.
Yeah, she was.
You know how I used to get mixed up with that girl that played on what's that movie? You know that movie Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah, the white girl.
Lisa Silverstone.
Yeah,
that's what played.
That was in Clueless.
Yeah, she was the main character.
Yeah, she was mixed up.
Cher.
Yeah,
in Clueless.
Yeah, she was in Clueless. I forgot about that.
I don't think she was in other movies, was she?
Who? Alicia Silverstone. She was in Batman and Robin. Remember she played Batgirl.
She was in Fear too. Was she in Fear?
No, that's Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
That's a good ass
movie.
That is
a good
ass
movie. Yeah, I ain't seen it in like 20 years. It is good. That's a good ass movie, man. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, right after he went to prison for hate crime.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
I got a home but love Mark Wahlberg. He thinks that
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
And I've been trying to tell him for years he ain't.
He's not gonna listen to you.
He wasn't that.
He ain't trying to hear it.
Trying to hear nothing. You know who it is.
Yeah, well, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Know who it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's what we're
talking
talking
about.
He
ain't trying to hear nothing. I try to tell my Mark Wahlberg nigga when that nigga
shit.
Immediately.
Man, Wahlberg,
he's not gonna listen to you.
Fight his
Hey, shout
ass.
out to Flip, man. I
Hey,
got on my ass one day.
You believe in that man, hey.
Man, you said something bad about Mark Wahlberg in front of him, he ain't trying to hear it.
Yeah.
That nigga damn near told me he was better than Denzel.
Oh, he tripping.
He tripping. That man act like he was better than this. I looked at him like he was crazy. I knew right then that day.
Have you ever seen We Own the Night with Mark Wahlberg and Joaquin Phoenix? It's you should watch that movie. It's actually really good. But
I'll check it out.
I'd probably bring back, if not Heath Ledger, like Marlon Brando. But not old, fat, gross Marlon Brando. Like young, like when he was in he wasn't that young in The Godfather, but he was pretty young.
I get the era.
But like the 40s, like yeah. Marlon Brando was the shit.
Who would you say, DP?
What?
Yeah, what actor would you bring back?
What actor would you bring back?
You said Brittany Murphy. I'm thinking of her. The actor I would want to bring back. I really just.
John Wayne.
No. Burt Reynolds.
Fuck yeah, that's a good one.
God,
that's
I didn't think about that.
Burt Reynolds.
That is the
like
last person.
What's that movie called?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. I could watch this shit all day.
Have you ever seen Deliverance? You should watch that shit. It's about
Smoky and the Bandit was the best one when I
had Brokeback Man. You gonna watch that?
Yeah. Deliverance is like a. There's no.
I ain't never seen that.
Okay, well, Deliverance is 3 dudes that go like kayaking through like the Appalachian Mountains. It's like John Voight, Burt Reynolds, and Ned Beatty, and they end up getting caught up with these like hillbillies that end up trying to rape and kill them. It's a fucking crazy ass movie.
Yeah.
But Burt Reynolds is a badass in that movie. Like, there's that one part where the dude's raping Ned Beatty, and he's like, squeal like a pig, like he's making him squeal, or whatever. And you just see behind the guy, and Burt Reynolds got the arrow pulled back, and then it just goes right through the guy's stomach.
Man, Burt Reynolds played some good movies.
Yeah,
He was good in Dukes of the Hazzard.
Yeah.
The movie, yeah. And Boogie Nights.
Yeah,
He was,
I ain't never seen Boogie Nights all the way. It's
pretty
another
good.
movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, another Mark Wahlberg. Dirk Diggler.
That's another movie with Mark. I ain't fucking with Mark, man,
But Burt Reynolds, they went to bring him back.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a damn good one.
Yeah.
Well, in the other news, I know y'all been seeing the NBA is playing in the bubble.
Yeah, thank
And
God.
what?
They mad at Lou Williams.
Do what?
He went to go hang out with Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
And you ain't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, they're in Orlando, and like they're not allowed to leave the little area that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, that he's one of the players that
Lou Williams.
was like,
Shout out Lou
fuck
Williams,
this,
man.
and left.
He thugging.
Lou Williams been thugging for years. Lou Williams the only man I know out here with 2 girlfriends and was really living their life for years. Like had 2 of them, and legit they knew about each other. They wouldn't know he was lying. It was like no.
They weren't getting the fuck.
He had 2 girlfriends. Shout out to Lou Williams, man. Come do the TruChat.
Have you seen The Last Dance? That documentary about the Bulls?
By Michael Jordan.
Well, yeah, I mean mostly Michael
Well,
Jordan.
Michael,
It's
most
about
Michael
the,
Jordan.
it's
I
about the
ain't
Bulls.
seen it all. I
It's
seen
so
enough.
fucking
It is good.
I
That's
just
what I
finished
seen.
it for the
I
third
haven't seen
time.
it yet.
It's on Netflix.
God
I need to sit
damn.
down and watch
Yeah.
it because
It's
I
on
keep hearing a lot of
Netflix.
good stuff about it.
It's been out.
Man.
Well, we late. Like
Well, it came out a while back, but
Yeah,
like
we
I just
Yeah,
finished
people
like
yeah.
I just finished rewatching it.
How long is it?
Fuck, it's 10
It's
parts.
10 parts.
I watched them
It's
all.
each.
I binge watched the shit.
Yeah, it's
About
worth
all
it.
3 times I watched it, I binge watched it.
It's worth watching. I mean, I watched like the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, when they
and
talking
it
about
came on.
Michael in his prime,
Man, it's all like
They talking
Michael.
about
Well,
Mike.
it's centered around the Bulls, but because Michael was the center of the Bulls, they centered
Yeah.
the documentary about Michael Jordan.
But you
But then they
yeah.
talk about like Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, and really kind of start to make a case that Scottie Pippen might have been like just as good as Michael. Like for a little bit,
Yeah.
Like they give Scottie Pippen some credit,
Which they
See,
always should have gave Scotty that
and they
credit.
never
you can't
did.
count him out.
Yeah, they
He-
should have gave Scotty.
yeah.
Scotty was a fool, but he can't keep up with his wife. She's still with Future.
Damn.
Kanye West.
He got
like,
braids now.
That was part
Yeah.
of what?
Scottie Pippen got braids now.
No, wait,
Shit.
in the documentary.
No, he got
well,
braids
though,
now.
He got braids.
Cornrows.
Scottie
All right,
Pippen.
in the cover off of this podcast, please make Scotty
God
Pippen
damn.
with them braids.
That man got braids.
Are you sure it's Scottie Pippen? Or
Scotty
is
Pippen
it?
got braids.
Or is it what's the guy that choked his coach? You remember that? Or Latrell Sprewell? Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
He been having braids. If he still got braids, it's over.
I bet he does.
He was like 35 when he was hooping.
Yeah,
Like when
he had
older
braids all the
people-
time.
Yeah.
Remember when Tyronn Lue had braids?
Let
me see it.
He look like a knight.
Oh my god, he looks like what's her name, Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, that's it. He look like
I thought I was playing this
Let me
was
say that
recent.
again. Let me
That
hold on.
is-
And then hold on. Somebody didn't zoom up on him.
Holy shit! Damn, that looks rough.
Ooh, that is rough.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling that.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
They say y'all trying to keep him fit.
God, I know she'll
Yeah,
take
but-
me back.
Anybody got time? Look at Scotty Pippen with these braids.
God damn.
Boy, he look like a.
But he had a fro for years.
He had like a real small fro.
Yeah,
he had that
he
like.
did Steve Harvey. It's like a Chi Ali, like the Chi.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what you really call
Yeah,
it.
this
Yeah, I
right
know
here.
what
He
you're
been
talking
having that
Yeah,
forever.
he had that little top fade.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
call
yeah.
That
it.
old school pop-up fade.
It's that grandma fade. Grandma be having black grandmas be
No,
having.
that Lucille.
My grandma had that little cut.
So did mine.
Man, R.I.P.
That's when she started
Her
driving.
name is Juanita, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. was Juanita.
Yeah.
She's sweet.
That's what
man.
my grandma had when she started driving trucks.
What?
Nah, I'm joking.
I was like, damn, she
No.
smoke meth and drive trucks.
Well, they
She
go
a
hand in
bad-
hand.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm kind of like.
Most
shit.
truck
Man,
drivers.
motherfucker. She
What did she work?
Ooh.
Where did she work?
I don't remember her ever having a job.
Damn.
She was a lunch lady, I remember, whenever I was in school, and that was nice and embarrassing. I made the mistake of telling like one friend, and I was like, hey, don't fucking tell anybody. Next day, hey, that's your fucking grandma. And I was like, son of a bitch. That's when I lost all trust in people.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like if a bunch of fucking 10-year-olds can't keep a secret, then shit, nobody
Shit, Tristan
can.
Thompson got some braids too.
Tristan Thompson?
Thompson, yeah, I said Thompson. Yeah, he got braids.
He's a Kardashian. Tristan
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kardashian.
he's on his way down too.
He's a Kardashian. Anytime you be with a Kardashian, you got to be a bad motherfucker to keep your name, because they usually you really become a Kardashian. Tristan Kardashian.
Yeah. If you could party with anyone, who would you party with? Like a celebrity. Like current.
Rick James.
Or past too, man.
Rick James.
Yeah, he'd have your big ass tied up and
Oh,
burning
no.
you and shit.
Oh no.
say
We
Rick
can't do
James.
crack. We can't do. I would want to go with a
I
party.
thought he was doing
that Eddie was doing.
cocaine, not crack.
Yeah, he did crack. That's what he went to jail for.
He was
tied
burning. He
each other.
burned that stripper
stripper.
with a crack pipe.
Yeah,
and he had her tied up for like days.
2 days, like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, and then
They
she
tied up
escaped.
and were burning with crack pipes
He
and
different.
cigarettes.
To party with any celebrity.
I think Dennis Rodman would have been pretty fucking cool. Like after watching that
Dennis
shit, I was
Rodman
like,
had all the hoes
it's
back
like
in the day.
Dennis, Carmen Electra. Man,
They-
goddamn.
my-
That man had a nice line.
So
Good
you
day.
And
see the look
Madonna.
on Michael's face when they was like, was Dennis
Man.
coming?
he's like, you're never gonna see Dennis again.
he was like,
Like-
Dennis, he's just looking like,
Yeah.
I know y'all can't see my face, but that look
No,
Michael
yeah.
had when they brought up Dennis.
Oh,
Coming to
man.
that, and that look he gave was legendary.
Oh,
I be
yeah.
looking at people like that all the time.
Dude.
Just be like,
Any celebrity party.
Dennis Rodman was the shit though.
I'm
It
trying,
was.
I'm trying to think about
Oprah tried to ban him. I said that on a couple episodes back.
Oh, yeah, she
Yeah.
tried to bring him down.
She tried to bring Dennis down. Just like she came out to Tony in the Civil War.
What Monique said, I told y'all about that bitch.
She did. She did. And y'all, I'm once again back to it. Y'all tried to sleep.
I think
Back
Ja-
to-
I think Jack Nicholson back in the day probably was pretty fun to hang out with, like in the 70s.
I always think about him in that Joker.
You ever dance with the devil?
Yeah, I always think about when
I really can't think
I
of
was
no
thinking The
celebrity I want to
Shining.
party with though, because it would be somebody like in today's.
I mean, Jamie Foxx. Like, there's a bunch of people that
I
probably
mean,
have
Jamie
pretty
Foxx is
badass
someone probably
parties.
cool to hang around, but I would
But I'm
probably.
talking about
He
just
don't
like,
party.
I'm talking about somebody that.
I don't know. Remember that Blame It on the Alcohol video?
True.
Yeah,
I'm talking about somebody that like you may die.
Damn.
Like if
Ooh.
you're with Rick James.
James Brown.
Oh God, you'd
He
be
probably turned.
You'd be on a police chase.
Shit. I'm trying to do it out.
What was that shit? What was that? What group was that about? Motley Crue.
Molly Crew would have been a good one. The Dirt, that
Mhm.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, James
I think
Brown.
I would have wanted to turn with Motley Crue one night.
Shit.
I know I wouldn't have made it, but I would have
They
tried.
did some crazy shit. I was reading or watching this thing with Tommy Lee, the drummer, and he said that one time they were just
Tommy
doing
Lee.
heroin like all day, and they had run out of heroin, so they started shooting up Jack Daniels. It's like Jesus, that's when you know you got a fucking problem.
Nah, I take that back.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I
Well,
hang out with
well,
nobody.
this is like in the fucking like the
70s.
down. Well, no,
Where is
No,
Tommy Lee
no,
now?
no.
80s. No, Motley Crue came out in like 83. But like this is like the downhill of Motley Crue.
Mhm.
In like the early 80s, whenever they first came out, it was just like they're just drinking and doing coke and shit.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much on cocaine in the 80s.
Well, especially in like Los Angeles, like all those like hair metal bands, they were all fucked up.
Where is Tommy Lee now?
He does a.
Someone beefing with his son.
Damn, still.
Nah,
Some
he does
other people, yeah.
he does like a podcast with his wife,
Didn't he have a show with what's his name at one point?
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah,
They had a sex tape. I don't think they ever had a show.
I think they did have a show.
I think they had
They
a show
did?
at one
Yeah.
point.
Yes,
They
they
didn't have a
did.
show.
Nope, you're right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah.
They had everybody used to have a show back in the day.
Yeah,
You had Bobby Whitney and
yeah. Cody told us about a very unflattering scene on this show.
Huh?
So we gonna
leave that in,
we gonna leave that
in
where
the
it's
bucket.
You grew up, in the Midwest in Milwaukee.
That's correct.
So how do you think that lifestyle transitioned to like the Beverly Hills lifestyle? I mean, are there similarities? I mean, obvious differences, but
There are no similarities. There's zero similarities. None. No. But it doesn't translate. It's a world away in mentality of the people.
Mhm.
But I was happy to grow up in the Midwest and to grow up with, the Midwestern values.
Mhm.
But then when I was of age and ready to work and make my way and make a living and do all those things, I needed to go to a big city where there was a lot more opportunity.
where did you go first?
I left home. I graduated from high school, and I left 2 months after I graduated, and I moved to Paris. And I was living there and working there for 6 months, and then I kind of moved all over Europe, and I'd go home I'd have to renew, like you'd have to leave the country every few months, and then you could come back. Just because when you're not a citizen, you can't outstay your welcome there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. It was good. But I knew that I never was going to be able to go back to Milwaukee and make that my life again after I'd seen so much of the world and what there was to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Okay.
And then I moved to California in 1984.
She was the first woman to be in the Nike campaign. Just do it. How did that feel? Like, that seems just outstanding.
Well, you're so sweet, but back then, I didn't know it was going to ever turn into anything.
Okay.
It was just a campaign, and no one really had made it famous. Like, Bo Jackson was a long ways off.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, we shot it in Sedona, Arizona, and I remember all of the running I did and everything, and the shoes, it was the first pair of Air Max, and they were half a size too small for me. And after running all day in them and like doing these sprints and then stopping, and of course, the photographers,
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the day, I kid you not, I lost both of my big toenails.
Oh my.
Man.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So would you do any Nike campaigns now?
Well, would I do a Nike campaign now? In a second, I would, of course, but I'm not in that kind of shape anymore at my age. But yeah. If I had to lose my big toenails, I just don't have that stamina for pain anymore, I don't think. I'm definitely not as hungry as I was back then.
Before you joined, kind of to jump ahead a little bit, so before you joined the cast of Real Housewives, did you know any of that cast beforehand? Were you kind of like in similar circles, or?
Yep, I knew Yolanda. Yolanda. This is before she had, was married to Mohammed.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew Yolanda and I knew Rena.
When did you meet them?
Gosh, I think I met both of them in the late 80s.
Oh, okay, so you knew them like pretty far back then. Before the show.
Long before anything. I met Yolanda when she almost couldn't speak English.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and Rena, when she was like she was too short really for modeling, and she was really giving the acting thing a go, and she was trying to get on a soap opera, and
Okay.
No, I've known those girls for a long time.
Yeah.
So would you ever come back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Any reason why?
Yeah.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I think it's toxic. I think it's a bad. I'm really a person who kind of like my mantra in life is like don't talk about it, be about it.
Right.
And
Right.
Whatever. If I say this is the type of person that I am, then I make a real hard point about being that person.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's not a healthy message to put out, especially to younger people and people who maybe don't have a lot of self-confidence, that they see that this is the way you carry yourself, the way you talk to people, the way you are petty and argue with people.
Right.
And I think I just don't think that you're ever really treating people with respect, and it's not the message that I want to send.
Yeah, and that's definitely how it came across on the show, because obviously the cast has changed quite a bit through the years, but you're pretty much one of the only people that weren't trying to get in the middle of every single dramatic situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but and that's probably why I'm not a good fit for a show like that anyway. The show is entertainment. You know what I mean? You have to keep it in context. If everyone was polite and nice, nobody would watch. It'd be boring.
Yeah, it's like they put y'all in like confrontation or certain situations where nothing's good is really gonna happen, but like you said, it's for entertainment, and that I could understand it. If that's not your mood or your vibe,
I don't. There's one thing if everyone's on the same page and everyone's just says hey, we're all going to take a swing at each other. If you open yourself up, just know I'm coming for you, and everybody's on the same page. But the way the show works is, and it's highly produced. I mean, like the storylines kind of get decided upon, and that's what it is. And there's always a target, and the target's basically the only one who doesn't know that they're the target. And when they're messing with people's real life and their real issues, whether it was Yolanda, and having Lyme disease, or like case of depression, or whatever the case, Kyle's sister Kim with alcoholism, that's real. Yeah, these are real things that people are seriously fighting in their life, and I'm not down with. I'm not down with belittling someone who's fighting a real addiction or a real, hard time in their life.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like it's more exploitative than anything. I mean, maybe not completely, but yeah, some of those issues you would just think, I don't know, they just shouldn't be shown in public. Well, yeah,
being a genuine person, like you say you are, there's a time like that you would want to help somebody, when they are struggling from alcoholism or drug abuse, anything, but really being on that type of show, it's kind of hard to help somebody and be genuine because, if it's not a true sisterhood, then it doesn't come together.
100%, April. You can't say that you're down for someone and you're a friend, and then the moment they show any vulnerability, that you stab them in the back.
Oh, that's cold blooded. You ain't supposed to do anything like that. It's sad that they try to portray how to do that to each other.
Do you feel like they portrayed you exactly how, like, genuine with the person that you are, or do you feel like they kind of just put your character out there any kind of way?
No, I mean, I don't think I came across as who I am by any stretch of the imagination. No. And I mean, I don't have any, falsehoods of why they brought me on. Like, I know that they brought me on for the Faye Resnick thing, and that was when the whole O.J. Simpson show was airing.
Right.
And so it was just it was a layup for them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to talk about, in the same sense of what I've been saying, I wasn't going to talk about something that was real. In light of my past and my history and what I saw all of my friends and I saw people go through. Two people lost their lives. Like, I'm going to talk about that and make light of that situation for good TV with Faye Resnick.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
right.
Because I mean that. Yeah, that's.
Were you and Faye able to get past that, or things just still uneasy?
No, I mean, she's the day that I met her. We were at Kyle's house, and Kyle had come up to me before the camera started rolling and said that, please don't go after her. She's so sensitive, and after the last thing, she was suicidal. She wouldn't come out of her house for 3 months. So please, she doesn't want to, be a part of that.
Yeah.
And so I thought, right off the bat, Faye apologized. She said, "I'm sorry for anyone that I've offended or anything that I've done." And if I come after her after she apologizes, then I'm a bully.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
True.
Were you ever friends, or did you ever know any of the Kardashians or Kris Jenner?
Yeah, sure. When I was married to my ex-husband, when I was married to Marcus, I knew Rob Kardashian well.
Oh.
Yeah. I watched the kids grow up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I seen like where they used to always make like home videos and record, like their Christmas party and every type of holiday they celebrated. And I'm pretty much a fan of them. But I was watching one episode with Kris Jenner, and she was just discussing like their family and their friends, and I was just wondering if you was a part of it, in that time era.
She's a genuine. She's very true to who you see. You know what I mean? She is a momager. After she married Bruce, and there wasn't really a lot going on, and she started managing his career, and then they moved to Hidden Hills long before anybody was living in Calabasas or Hidden Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she built that empire.
Wow.
I mean,
She really did.
There's no I mean, listen, let's call a spade a spade. There's no two ways about it. Kim and Ray J put that on the map in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And you know that's kind of what's kind of trending right now. It's not really Ray J, but you know,
Yeah.
it's with Kim. You know, it's trending right now. But
Yeah.
Now no one anymore. Remember when they really kind of started coming into their, you know, their fame, and everyone was like,
Mhm.
"What do the Kardashians do? What's their talent? Who are they? Like, why are they? Why does anyone care what they do?"
Yeah.
You know, she made a sex tape, and that's how she got famous. No one says that anymore.
no,
It's basically like normalized now, baby.
Yeah.
Right?
I
They
actually,
They set
they
away.
put their doing. They did the work, and
yeah,
you know,
they put their
Yeah.
personal
Just-
business and like personal life actually out there when everybody would actually be afraid to put out. I mean, they actually show it to everybody.
right?
And I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta have a lot of courage. But when I
And
look,
let me tell you, I know a lot of people, a lot of mutual friends that are friends of mine and friends of theirs that
Mhm.
are haters. That
Yeah.
literally were waiting for their 15 minutes to be up just because they just didn't want to, you know, see
See
them
them
have
do
all the
good.
success. And,
Yeah.
and you know, and that's the LA thing that if you don't live in it, you don't really
Mhm.
understand it. It's
Sure.
Right.
As much as everyone who says that they're your friend and they want to, you know, they're happy for you, whatever your success is, not so much.
How do you separate like the genuine friendships from the fake kind of Hollywood portrayed friendships? I mean, how is it just trial and error, or?
Don't you feel like? I mean, I feel like in the beginning when I meet someone, within pretty much 1 minute, I can get a read on them and tell if they're genuine and real or not, or if they're
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah. True.
True.
Yeah.
Me. Definitely me. I definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You
But-
know when you get a
That
bad
vibe.
feeling, and you're like,
Mhm.
I
That
see
vibe.
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You get that
Yeah,
vibe. You just see something not right.
But you know, Kathryn, when you said people didn't know, you know, the Kardashians, like from like only certain things or from the sex tape, I actually learned about the Kardashians when Rob Kardashian was on trial. Well, you know, when he worked with the Kathryn law firm.
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
I actually was like, oh, these are the Kardashians. I started watching everything, and
Sure.
Robert Kardashian, I have always been told he was like one of the best lawyers
He was there
with
high
Johnny
profile.
Cochran, and
Yeah.
I think that is like amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just remember from being like Paris Hilton's friend. That's how I
That
first
That's
too.
remember.
literally all I remember.
Yeah,
To be
yeah.
honest, yeah, that's why I remember
Yeah.
being.
So,
But they
How,
dad was very
how
successful.
crazy is all this stuff with Kanye right now?
Very,
Oh,
very
wow.
crazy, very crazy.
yeah, we have
Right.
been.
Let me ask you guys something. So,
Okay.
do you guys? What is your feeling for Kanye? Do you like him, or like what's your Kanye vibe?
I personally,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
personally feel like he's just throwing a temper tantrum and needs to get some kind of help or talk to somebody. That's just my personal opinion. But
Do you like him?
as a person,
Yeah. Like, do you
No.
when you hear him talk?
I
Do you
don't.
listen to him, or do you like, oh, he's nuts, like he's crazy, and just forget about it?
Yeah,
yeah, a little more on the crazy side. It's really like a hit or miss. Like he ain't been right since I don't know how long. If
Yeah.
you want to be completely honest, he just
Uh-huh.
he'll throw you in a loop when he starts talking. You
Yeah.
don't know what to believe or what to just listen to.
I feel like he thinks that he makes a lot of sense and that he probably has a reason for the things that he says. I just think somewhere along the lines it gets so like jumbled up that none of us have a clue what he's talking about. And it comes across as being just unstable. Which to say that he is, I mean, I don't know. I don't know him, so I can't really say whether he is or not. But it definitely comes across that way.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
he's not able to articulate what he's thinking, and he loses everybody. Just I know what
think
you
so.
mean. I think
Yeah.
he's a really smart guy. I think he's just a little. I think he has a chemical imbalance, and I think he's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the Hollywood lifestyle.
I think, man, I don't know if Kanye West is stopping or going. Yeah. I'm just gonna be really honest. I don't know if the man is stopping or going. I'm just kind of just watching it. I mean, I feel like a lot of times he has the right intentions, but it comes out so wrong. Mm-hmm. Which I understand that, I respect that, but I just think it's a time and place, and I don't think Kanye has a grasp on time and place. It's a lot of little factors that I think makes Kanye, which is beautiful, but it's bad. And I mean, I'm kind of at the point now. Kanye is a person we gotta accept. I feel like people need to work more on accepting people for people. But I do think we need to hold people accountable too before they make a fool of themselves, or just talk to them. Like if I could tell Kanye just on some real stuff, like I would just talk to him off camera. It wouldn't be anything that would be public. Maybe he just need a friend. Yeah. It's a lot I can say there. I think Kanye just need a real friend, somebody to just really just be like, bro, did you mean that? Or because a lot of times you talk about stuff with your friends before you talk about it in front of people. Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's and like, he's always off the cuff. He's just letting it
fly. It's like, did you talk to somebody else about that? Did anybody else? Did you say that to your wife and she not say nothing back? It's kind of
I think Kim is really like, I think he does embarrass their family.
Yeah.
And I know that they probably tell him before he goes out. I mean, kind of give him a little pep talk.
No, let me tell you, because I remember when she was dating Chris, the basketball player, before they got engaged. She was hanging with Kanye back then.
He was such a jerk.
Kanye was already in hot pursuit of her, but she was going out with the basketball player that she married for a quick minute, and she should not have married the basketball player. That we all know. That didn't last long. Yeah. And then once that fell through the cracks, I mean, Kanye was like, okay, now this is it. But they knew back then that he had issues. Because I remember hearing about it from him then. Mm-hmm. So he was already, I mean, whether it's as bad as it is now, whether if it's bipolar or, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a smart guy. I mean, he's super, super talented. He's smart. He's definitely on a different level, the way he views things and sees things. Mm-hmm. I think he's not maybe the most articulate with his vision. Yeah. And maybe when he gets a little narcissistic, it's hard and it's a little turn off for people. When he talks about how he compares himself to Steve Jobs and Walt Disney and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. But I feel for him right now. I mean, I'm really hoping somebody steps up and takes him under his wing and someone's watching him, because he's in with some sharks.
I definitely think he's been off since he did that Taylor Swift mess at the MTV Awards. That's just my personal opinion. That's when I knew he was off.
You could tell he kind of thinks.
My husband and I, when we're arguing or like if we're having like a little bicker about something, I always say to him, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish. Well, Beyonce had the best video of the
year. Yeah, he was cold-blooded for that.
Yeah, that's funny.
So what do you besides doing the shows and stuff, what do you do in your free time?
My husband and I started a foundation a few years back, and it's really predominantly military based. Mm-hmm. We both come from military families. My brother was 22 years in the Navy. My nephew is a Navy SEAL. Donnie's grandfather was a Pearl Harbor survivor. He was on one of the ships when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and he's got 11 siblings, and I think 8 of them either served or are in the military now. Oh, okay. So, we're, in San Diego, which is where we spend the majority of our time, is a big military town. So we started a foundation to help recently transitioned special operators like Delta Rangers, Navy SEALs, when they get out of the military, whether it's because they got injured or because just their time's up and they don't want to do it anymore. A lot of the times when those guys get out and, they've been trained to, detonate bombs, kidnap people, kill people, all these things, they don't know how to transition to civilian life, and they have a very, very high suicide rate.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and so for me, the tie-in for me is that's a very personal thing for me. My father took his life when I was 13, and then I've now just in February I had a nephew take his life, and then it's suicide and addiction and everything is in my family, and so I'm very very sensitive to that type of thing. So we have a program to help the recently retired military transition to civilian life, help them find new jobs, give them direction if they need camaraderie and they're lonely and they don't have that brotherhood feeling anymore. We get them around other recently retired guys and make sure that they have a brotherhood with somebody, so if they get depressed they have someone to talk to. And then we also take veterans back to their battlefields for closure, and we bring Vietnam veterans back to Vietnam. We take World War II veterans back to France and Holland and Germany and Iwo Jima and all these places, because a lot of them have never gone back since they fought in the Battle of the War, and they have PTSD and they have trauma, and it's when they go back and they see how peaceful things are and that life has gone on, it's a huge weight off their backs, and it's kind of like it wipes out the nightmare that they have in their minds.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do, and it's called the Best Defense Foundation. You guys should go on YouTube, or you can go to our website. But if you go to the Best Defense Foundation on YouTube, you can look at our program videos and see what we do.
Okay.
And there's an Instagram page too. Is there a Facebook page as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a Facebook page as well. Yeah, that we're really proud. I mean, and it's not. I'm not bragging when I say it, because it's there's nothing to brag about helping someone in a bad who's in a bad way. But we've had more than a handful of military veterans who literally had like a gun in their mouth. And stopped them and got them help, and they're better and they're here.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, because I mean, it is an overlooked, I don't know if you call it a demographic, but there is just not a lot of care out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of forgotten. So the fact that
and when you look at where the majority of military, younger guys and women are coming from. They're coming from the South. They're coming from, not big cities. They're coming from small towns, neighborhoods. And after they've been in the military, it's like, okay, they go back to their town. Now what? And when you get out of the military, if you're not 20 years in, there's no benefits. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You get zero zilch unless you have an injury.
Yeah.
And it's and not a lot of people, when they go in, take advantage of the GI bills and get an education, pass a high school level and learn a trade. It's just, and you become so dependent on someone telling you what time to wake up, what you're going to wear, what time you're going to eat, all of these things right in your life. And then all of a sudden, when you have no one to tell you what to do anymore, they're really lost.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
never really thought about it like that. That's good insight.
Yeah.
So how long have you been married to?
18 years.
Hey, congratulations.
I raised them. Thank you.
So, I mean,
Right.
do you have tips or anything? Because, I mean, you're both, have been in the spotlight for a pretty long time. I mean, how do you keep a marriage successful like that, especially in, your scenario?
I would tell you that the number one thing is trust. Well, two things: trust and respect. But that, to me, they're synonymous. They go hand in hand. Yeah. And you have to communicate.
Right.
And it's you have to talk, and you have to talk honestly and openly. And I have zero desire to change him, and he has zero desire to change me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is some great advice. That is great advice for a lot of young people. I feel like a lot of people are missing out on that, and just missing that. That's missing. I feel like, I hate to say that, But I mean, I have a lot of friends, and I just be like, yeah, y'all don't talk about stuff. You know, they telling me they're arguing with their significant, and I be like, if you would have just told them what you told me, y'all probably would have got through that.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
You don't need to tell me that. So, I mean, anytime I hear anything about relationships or anything like that that's positive, I always want to, stand out and say I appreciate that or appreciate hearing that, because it's hard. Me being in a relationship, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard to be with somebody, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
No, it really is.
I always say
It
that
really
wherever
is.
you go, if you have to take into consideration in a relationship, chances are you're 50% of the problem. And
Right.
wherever you go, if you think that the grass is greener on the other side, you're taking that 50% of the problem with you.
Right.
True.
Right.
True.
It might not be for somebody else's.
Right. Wherever you go, there you are. There goes the problem. You're sharing the problem with you, and if you keep having the same problems with no matter who you're with, that's when you have to kind of look at, either you're really bad at picking them, or maybe you have a bigger part of the blame that you want to look at.
Or just say it's me.
Yeah, being accountable, just saying, hey, I'm tripping out here.
I need to take a step back and take a breather and get myself together. But that's hard nowadays for people to do, to admit, like, oh, I'm the problem, which is really sad. And nowadays people are just so quick to throw everything away because of one misunderstanding.
Yeah. How old are you guys? You're young, aren't you?
I'm 25 and I'm engaged, by the way, so that's why I truly understand all this.
I'm
There you
28.
go.
Yeah, 26.
28? Oh,
Yeah.
you're so young.
Oh, I'm over here hitting at 31. I'm the oldest, so that's why I can tell them it's a lot. It's a lot. Being in engagement for 10 years, and then that's a whole different story. So it's a lot. I got some stories.
It is. Yeah. No, and the thing is that it takes a lot to be with someone for so long, and if you look at what you have and the memories you have and how much of it is good, I mean, if you're fighting more than you're laughing, okay, then sometimes people just have to cut their losses and say, hey, I wish you the best, I have no ill will towards you, and you move on. But, if you have a lot of great memories and you hit a rough patch at, the 10th year, ride it out, get through it, put the work in, because to start from square one with somebody else and hoping you get to 10 years, you may find yourself right back in the same situation.
In 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely right. In 6 months.
Exactly.
6 months, 3 times. That's a lot in 1 year. So
Yeah.
just to throw that out there. So I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, do you think traveling together helps? Because you travel like quite a bit.
A lot.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I
think it shines a spotlight on the good things and the bad things. If you're not great and you have issues, then I think it's going to break you up faster.
Yeah.
But if you're great together and it's and you have a solid relationship, then I think it's wonderful. But there's nothing like being in a foreign country when you don't know anyone, you don't speak the language, nothing's familiar, and you start fighting. It's like, ooh, I want to leave you right now, but I don't have anyone else to go with.
Nowhere to go.
All I got.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to pinch the shit out of you right now. Let's go, honey.
Oh yeah. So I mean, where's like the best vacation that y'all have been to?
Oh,
Best
that's
trip.
a tough one. We just got back right after all of the COVID stuff, or I should say right before all the COVID stuff started. We were in Southeast Asia. We were in China and Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, and that was a wonderful, wonderful trip.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia is beautiful. But if I had to pick one place that I could go to and that would be it for the rest of my life, I would probably have to say that would be the north of Italy, in the on the border of Switzerland and Germany and Austria, the Alps.
Yeah.
I love the mountains.
Do you stay in touch with anyone from the cast?
Yeah, I keep in touch. I communicate with Kyle, Brenna, and Yolanda.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you still follow any of the seasons now? Like, since then?
I mean, it was hard because I was traveling so much, and so maybe if I could download something and binge watch it on the plane or something, I would. But
yeah.
Now with COVID right now, I've seen this season thus far.
Okay.
And oh man.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Kind of, your take on some of the.
Yeah. I think it's. I hate to say it, but I think that there's, with Renna, I think that where she's gone to make a good show, and the fact that she's not cared about her 20-year friendship with Denise Richards is sad.
Yeah, because that's what, I mean, I never really understand the dynamic of Denise Richards with the rest of the cast. But it changed completely, it seems like, from the last season, which I don't know if you saw like the season before this one, but that season to this season are like completely different, and it seems like a lot of it is to do with that relationship. So yeah, it's just I mean, I
don't know. I mean, let me ask you guys this: if she did have a thing with Brandi Glanville, right? If those two girls were hooking up. And Brandi Glanville is willing to, and she's like Renna, she'll say or do anything to be on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that Renna, as a 20-year friend, should just have her back and not worry about making good TV and be a friend to her, and that should be more important? Or do you think you say, hey, this is a great season in the making here, the hell with the friendship, I gotta throw Denise under the bus?
No, I mean, you say to hell with the show. I mean, if you're friends with someone for 20 years, you don't, like, what difference is it gonna make if this season has great ratings? Like,
exactly, Cody, and that's LA.
Yeah, I'm not for tarnish a friendship for a chick, especially a 20-year friendship. That's just ignorant.
Right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. That means you'll do anything for $1, and that will make me not want to trust you as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Friendship is over.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah, and then you're getting portrayed on TV as that person. So why would you even want that to happen? I mean,
no, and you have to. I mean, I think that the majority of people that watch the show, there's probably some people that kind of, love all of the mean-spirited stuff, but don't you think that the majority of people are like, oh, that's messed up? I mean, if that's your friend, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Because that's real. You know what I mean? That's not a made up thing. If it really did happen, and she's like, whoa, wait a minute, this is not okay. This is my family, my kids, my husband. Like, if she was just creeping behind the husband's back, and she got brought to the light, and her stuff's being put out on Main Street, that's pretty shitty, right?
Yeah,
very
sure.
shitty.
Yeah, that's just dead ass wrong.
That is so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it seems like is gonna happen, is that she's just gonna throw away, a 2-decade-long friendship for
a chick
for nothing. Yeah, just to get a little bit better ratings, and then what? I mean, the show's not gonna go on forever, so what do you do at the end of the day? Like, I mean.
But how dumb he did with Brandi Glanville. Like, if she's looking to like have a fling with somebody, did you need to pick her?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's kind of a
scandal.
We'll just say odd choice, but
right?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been my first pick by any means.
For a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, well, yeah, for a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is watch any of the seasons she was on, and you kind of figure that one out pretty quick.
So, do you watch any reality TV shows?
No.
Not
really.
I can understand
because you know what it's about.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of mess, so I understand.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's just. I would watch, the Housewives of New York, New Jersey. That was about it, and then Beverly Hills, and then after I did it, it all lost any type of entertainment for me.
True.
Do you watch Vanderpump Rules?
Nope.
Nope.
Never seen it.
Don't blame you.
I mean, I know who they are. I know the group just because I would be around them when I was with Vanderpump, and because Vanderpump would always want to be hanging out at the restaurants, and they'd all be in there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and so I recognize the faces, and I know okay, that's Jax, that's this one, that one. But I do not know the show. I don't know who's a good guy, a bad guy, who's done horrible things. I don't know any of that.
You're not missing out.
No, you're not. It's kind of like everybody just sleeping
terrible.
with everybody is what it sounds like.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I understand when it comes, like, for example, like Love and Hip Hop. Like, I done grew out of watching that type of stuff because, like, they just want to humiliate each other for a check.
It's like a storyline.
It's a storyline. You're making a fake storyline. You don't know what to believe. So I get it.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, is there pressure to have, like, drama heightened? Like, are they putting you specifically in situations knowing that something is going to come out of this? Or is it kind of random and it's just personality clashes?
Both. It's a combination of both. And that's where the casting comes in. So I just, Bravo is writing a book on all of the Housewives, all of the network, or not the networks, the cities. So all of the franchises, and then they are interviewing every single housewife that there's ever been.
Yeah.
And the guy that's writing it, is a good friend of Andy Cohen's, and I talked to him. Wait, hold on. For a while, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's where my AirPods got a little quiet. But he said that in his opinion, there's an instigator, which would be, like a shit starter, which would be a Rena type personality.
Yeah.
There's the producer, the ones that are constantly trying to lead the drama, make it happen, point it in the direction. That would be Kyle or Vanderpump, where they produce it, right? They want to control how it goes. And then there's the reactors, the ones who are just with a deer caught in the headlight, but you don't know what you're going to get, and that's like a Teresa Giudice.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
And so he asked me which one out of the three was I, and I said I'm for sure just a reactor, because I remember a few times where I literally caught myself with my mouth hanging open, where I was like, oh, what did she just say? Just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems.
Yeah, it's just and that's the part of it. It's just it's not nice. It's nasty. You know what I mean? It's just. And just because someone's got money and they can go buy designer clothes and drive a nice car and have jewelry and whatever, if you can put lipstick on a pig, but that's still a pig.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
It is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you think keeps you humble, in that lifestyle?
I think I've been around and I've seen the real, rough, sad, tough times.
Yeah.
That people go through. And anyone, that could happen to anyone. I don't care what you think you have, how famous you are, successful you are, or how little you have and how nothing's going to ever happen and come to you.
Yeah. It
can always change in a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyone who thinks that they can't make something out of their life, no. If you think you can't, then you can't. If you think you can be something and do something and create something and build something, you can. And it's the same thing with people who have things the way they tear themselves down. And so nothing is permanent. Everything is constantly changing. And I have a saying that I always live by, that a whale only gets harpooned when he comes up to blow. So if you keep your head below the water and you don't call attention to yourself, you'll be all right.
True.
Yeah.
True that.
I like that.
Very much.
Yeah.
TruChat.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah,
right?
That's a good way to.
For real, low key.
Yeah.
Stay out the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Stay out the way. Keep your head down. Just be about your business. Don't go for someone if they're not going for you, and just Be polite and be kind.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
That's some great facts of life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll never serve you wrong. If you have that mindset, if you treat people with respect and you expect that from other people, it'll be all right. And I tell that to my nephews and my niece.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever think you're better than anybody, and don't ever think that anyone's better than you.
True.
Yeah.
True, Chad.
Very true.
Man, I'm loving these gems. I
Yeah,
really
you
do
dropping some more
appreciate you
gems
dropping
on us
this.
for real.
I really do appreciate you
Yeah.
dropping this. I do have one question I just want to slide out there. It's kind of just a fun question. When did you know you made it?
It's so funny that you say, because it's not even for me in my mind about making it. For me, making it is every day that I have peace.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm miserable and I'm letting something that I cannot control my happiness, I did not make it that day.
True.
Right.
That is not a good day, and I let something tear me down that I have no control of. But if I have my own happiness and my own peace, I don't need anything else. I know it sounds crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be fine. I'd be fine driving a Toyota Corolla, living in 1,500 square feet with my husband and my dog, if I'm happy every day.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
And there's something, there's something to be said for more money, more problems.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, money, I know just as many wealthy people who are more miserable than people that don't have much.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
I've
for
heard
sure.
that. I've definitely heard that many a times, and I appreciate you relating that. This something that what you're saying is I feel like the world needs to hear it. People need to hear it. I needed to hear it, and
Yeah.
that's
so
definitely
true.
a gem. That is definitely a gem that you can say that more people need to hear that. And more people need to realize it's really a lot more simple than what we putting out there.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm not going to take away from, when if someone asks me how you know you made it, it sounds so simple, but for me it's like, for me, I know I made it if my refrigerator breaks down and I need a whole new refrigerator, then I can go get one.
Yeah.
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 That to me is, I'm good then. I'm good.
Yeah. Getting to the point.
I would never say like, oh, I got a Range Rover and a Mercedes in the garage, like I made it. That is just stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That is nothing. That means nothing.
Because once you drive it off the lot, it lose value. And then
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm really glad you say that, because here on TruChat we talk about all factors of life. We talk about how would we feel if we had this, if we didn't have that, if we just the basics of everything. And what you're saying, that really brings a different perspective to a lot of things we've said and things I've said. Because I find it's always good to it's good to hear somebody tell you just the truth. Sometimes, and these days we get caught up in what looks good as being good, when really sometimes having something really nice, that don't mean anything. It's just you got something really nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, isn't that the truth? And you think about it. I know people that are maxed out on their credit cards, stressing every month of how they're going to pay their rent, but they walk around with a Birkin bag or a this or that, and they have all these things, but they're not sleeping at night. They're not sleeping at night because they're afraid of someone coming and impounding their car, or someone putting a lock on their apartment door and they can't get in it.
Everything outside sounds like a tow truck.
Yeah.
Right? and if their freezer breaks down, if their refrigerator breaks down, they can't call a handyman. You know what I mean? So what matters more in those situations? That you have a Gucci bag, or you can keep your damn milk cold?
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm loving everything. I'm loving everything you saying.
I'm going with the milk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, before we go, is there any other gems you want to drop on us or anything?
No.
We love them.
No, I just would say to you guys, young folks, go, spread your wings and every day do something for someone else, serve someone else, do something to make someone else have a better day. And just by doing that, you're giving yourself double what you just gave to someone else.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
That's
True chat.
that's what we needed. That's perfect.
Definitely was needed, man. I needed this conversation. I'm gonna have to say, I hope you come back and see us again. Come back and sit down for TruChat again, because I really appreciated your time and your knowledge.
Same here, and I'm anytime. I don't even know why when Cody reached out to me, I'm like, who is this Cody Cycle? I just looked at your thing. I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, I don't know who this is, what they're talking about. I said, but it just feels right, so I'm gonna say yes.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we're glad you did.
Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.
Me too. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Tell her stop playing with me. Let's talk about money, then please stay away from me. I see demons, somebody please pray for me. I recline in my chair and wait patiently. Tell her stop playing with me. Yeah. Tell her stop playing with me.